Hi, everyone. Welcome to this new episode of our Student Spotlight series, where we are able to showcase some of the work our past students have done. I'm Charlotte, one of the outreach coordinators here at CCIR, and it's our pleasure today to have Kevin with us, who did our one-on-one mentorship. So firstly, Kevin, can you just introduce yourself? So tell us where you're from, what year you are in school, and then what your academic interests are.
Hi, my name is Kevin, and I'm currently studying in Mumbai, in India. I'm in my final year of undergraduate studies in a university, and I'm currently pursuing a major in computer science engineering. And my research interests are in the field of machine learning, specifically the subdomain of natural language processing.
And is that what you did your one-on-one mentorship course in?
Yes, I did my research in NL.
And then what made you seek out CCIR in this topic in particular?
Yes, so up until the point that I joined this program, I did not have any real experience in research and I had not written any papers as such. And I am interested in pursuing an education in Masters of Science in Computer Science directly after finishing my undergrad. And research is very essential there. So that's therefore I decided I wanted to have some experience, some exposure beforehand. And so I decided to join.
Okay, great. And then, so can you talk us through kind of what your course was about, what you looked into, and then we'll discuss your research project.
Yeah. So in the course, I basically worked with my mentor, who is Dr. Chirag Lalla from the Imperial College London, and we basically had weekly meetings discussing the tasks directly from the research problem formulation right up till the completion of my project. He helped me with really deciding on this subtask. I worked on clinical natural language inference, which is another subtask within NLP. And he helped me a lot with really deciding how should my approach towards the problem statement be and going step by step through the weeks to ultimately reach my goal of getting some good research work in on this problem.
And then in your course, can you give us just a general overview of the different topics that you looked into and also how you ended up choosing which topic to delve into for your research project?
So right from the start, I was interested in doing something in NLP, and my mentor himself had a lot of expertise in NLP. So from the first few meetings, we were discussing the various options I had, the different tasks, and he suggested that I should go over the recent research papers in the field, top conferences. So after a few weeks of just going reading multiple 10, 20 research papers, I came across one which really was about a public competition on this task of clinical natural language inference. And since it was on the public competition, the data set was easily available, and also there was a public leaderboard of the best performing models. So I had an idea of what to compare my performance with. So it gave me a structured way to go ahead with it, and my mentor advised me to choose this topic to go ahead with my research.
Okay. And then to discuss your research project, can you walk us through what your research looked into, what your process of collecting data was, and kind of your general methodology?
Yeah. So the specific task I worked on, if I would explain what NLI is, so the data set that was already publicly available, it had either in each training sample, it had one or two clinical trial reports, which served as the premise, and then associated with that, a statement which was based on these reports. And what my model had to do was predict whether the statement was contradicting the reports or it was entailing the reports. So it gave a kind of a summarization of the reports as a whole. And the methodology I used was first when I was looking at the data set, I realized that there were certain patterns and certain trends in the data that could really be beneficial in a pre-processing step. And on further analyzing the data that I had, I suggested to my mentor if I could try a more traditional rule-based approach rather than the usual deep learning models that a lot of the other competitors used to really tackle the task at hand. And beyond this, when I ran into problems with just a pure rule-based approach, I used the implemented LLMs, large language models, to really fill up the gaps in my approach so far and really get a kind of a hybrid model going to combat this task.
And then can you walk us through the findings of your paper?
Yeah. So for one, I was surprised at how well the rule-based model itself could perform on the data set that was given to me. And my mentor also helped me to realize that this perhaps showed the simplicity and some of the drawbacks in the data set, inherent in the data set itself. For example, one problem was that the data set was not that large. It had only 1700 samples in the training data set. And so even large transformer models will not be able to train that well on it. And another finding that I found was hybrid heuristic plus large language model worked really well in comparison to the transformer models. And this was insightful for me because a lot of these methods that I used were really discovered way back in this field, maybe 30 to 40 years ago. And it showed that even today, even in the age of deep learning, they are still useful and they shouldn't be discarded completely.
Nice. And then in terms of just kind of what your general expectations were for your research project, were your findings in line with that, or was there anything that maybe surprised you about your findings?
So what I had expected was that I felt that this line of work that I had started upon, that it would not yield that good results because I felt it was too simplistic and it would not be able to capture all the nuances in the data. But I was surprised that my model performed way better than what I'd expected it to. It could even handle specific numeric problems in the textual data, which a lot of transformer models are not able to handle. I was surprised, especially at how well it was able to handle that aspect of it. And yeah, so it was just a pleasant surprise for me that it was beyond my expectations how well it.
Nice. So now we're just going to shift to discussing your general experience with CCIR. So firstly, can you just tell us what your experience was like in the program doing a high-level research project like this as a high school student?
Yeah. So for me, it was definitely challenging at first, especially the literature review part, which can be daunting. But with my mentor's guidance and help, it really smoothened the process out and gave me clarity. It was also my first time working alone on a research project, so that increased the pressure in a way. But my mentor was very knowledgeable in the work that I was involved in, and he gave me specific steps as what to do week in, week out. And my professor also told me exactly what was going well and what wasn't, so I knew what to cut down on and what to focus on more to strengthen. And this really helped me going throughout the course to really reach a fruitful result at the end. So it was overall an enriching experience for me. It helped me to get out of my comfort zone, and so I really enjoyed the program.
Right. And then how was the research process and experience compared to papers or projects that you've done in school?
Yeah, so in school, it was completely different in the sense that I would never get this kind of a personal one-on-one time of interaction with my mentor. Back in school, it would be one professor handling 30 to 40 students, helping them. So I would never get that personalized feedback. And through the program, through the one-on-one research mentorship program, my mentor really helped me solve issues. The constant feedback helped me to debug anything that I was stuck with. I could just send emails to him and there were prompt replies. And it really helped me to not get stuck anywhere, but to keep making good progress.
Great. It seems like your mentor was very supportive, which is lovely. And so just on the topic of your mentor and kind of their leadership in your program. So for those listening, we really like to emphasize the aspect of mentorship in our programs as opposed to the traditional teacher, where our mentors don't just transfer information onto you as a student, but really guide you through your own discoveries and learning process. So can you tell me what your experience was like with your mentor as you moved through kind of the first more teaching-oriented half of the course into the latter more research-oriented half of the course and how they helped guide you through that?
Yeah, so My mentor from the get-go, he was really friendly. Even though I didn't know a lot about research at the start, my professor's guidance was invaluable. He never really tried to make a big problem out of my lack of knowledge, but always helped me like even take baby steps at the in the first few weeks to get to a point where I could do solid research. Whenever I was stuck, he helped me to find the way forward. He was really helpful and encouraging in that way. And he was really very knowledgeable in the domain that I was pursuing my research in, and that helped a lot. He had been the host of many conferences in NLP, and really learning from his expertise, his first-hand experiences, really shaped the way I pursued my research.
Great. And then just two more questions for you. The first one, do you think this course has given you any insights into your future? Has it maybe informed or shaped how you think of your path moving forward at all?
Yes, so through this program, my enthusiasm in the field of NLP has really increased. As I said, I'm going to be pursuing a MS in computer science soon after my graduation, and over there that I'll have to write a research thesis, and I really have broadened my horizons in this field of NLP, knowing that there are so many different aspects that I can work on. And already this project has given me a strong base to go much further and deeper in the work that I will pursue soon. So that really helped me to chart my way forward.
That's great. It seems like this program has really been able to kind of solidify that this is an interest that you want to pursue, which is wonderful. Now, my last question for you, what would you say to someone who asked you what the value of doing a project or a program like this is?
Yes, so what I would tell them was throughout this program, it really helps one to get a good sense of research, like how to structure the way you go about conducting research, right from the problem formulation to the completion. There is not even a single step that is left out through this course. And for me, it helped me a lot in the literature review phase, which is crucial in scientific research, connecting your work to what others have already done. And so on the whole, I would definitely recommend this course to all my juniors and others who want to start research, no matter what level they may be at right now. Even if they are completely inexperienced, I would encourage them to pursue this course. And also the week by week deadlines that were set by my mentor, they really helped me stay on track. And if I did that on my own, I knew I would have been really delayed. So this course helped me in that sense.
Great. I think that's great advice. So that's the end of our spotlight interview. Thank you so much for chatting to me, and congratulations again on your nomination to our series.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.